Hey everyone, I'm Emily. This is my channel, The Fang Girl. I am a Taiwanese American from San Francisco, living and working here in Singapore. I get a lot of questions about what it's like being an expat and the type of costs associated with living in Singapore. Coming from my own perspective, I just want to give you some context because one, I am considered a SINK, which is single income, no kids. I am in my later 20s and I work in tech. So I have a certain type of lifestyle, spend money on certain things that make me happy. So take it all with a grain of salt. And I would say that not all people who live and work in Singapore spend the same way that I do. However, you can get an idea of perhaps how much things would cost and what things look like over here. So I'm going to split this video up by house bills, transportation, food, clothes, and healthcare. Right now, I am renting a condo with my friend and housemate. We have a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. It's a really nice condo. It has amenities. It has a gym and a pool. I'm paying 1480 Singaporean dollars, which is equivalent to 1,100 US dollars. It is a master bedroom and it has a really nice window, which I love. So sometimes I'll just wake up and watch the sun rise. Definitely in comparison, my room in San Francisco was probably a little bit smaller. I didn't have nice amenities back in San Francisco. It was just literally an apartment and we didn't have a pool or things like that. So I would definitely say living here in Singapore has been an upgrade because I'm paying less and I still get really nice amenities. Also, our condo is quite new, so I do love that it just has like a new feeling. It's not very old, things aren't breaking down, and it just has more of like this modern type of living. We also split gas, electric, and Wi-Fi bills down the middle. We generally pay around 55 Singaporean dollars per month per person, and that equates to 41 US dollars. I would say it's roughly the same back in San Francisco because back in San Francisco it's really cold, so we don't really turn on the AC or the fan. You can turn on the heater in San Francisco, but I think generally when I recall back to my time living there, I just wore multiple layers and I wore socks. And it's also, I guess, like the more Asian thing to do. Why turn on the heater when you can just add on more layers? For my phone bill, it's recurring, so it just automatically takes some money out of my account and I don't have to worry about it at all. I pay roughly $20. Back in the US, I didn't pay for it because I was on my sister's family line. We were in this grandfather clause with T-Mobile, so I never really paid for my phone bills. My sister did, and obviously I am the younger one, but now I pay my own phone bill. Thanks, sissy. One thing I also wanted to mention is that every month we do have a cleaner come in to our house and just kind of do more of like a deep cleaning. It generally charges $40, but we give her a $10 tip. So to kind of just like round it out, we give her 50 Singaporean dollars. In all context, it's really not common to have a cleaner at all back in San Francisco or in the States, unless you're like high flying or have a lot of money. Generally, back at home in San Francisco, I would do the cleaning myself. I would be sweeping and I would be vacuuming, and me and my housemates would take turns doing it. I think because in Singapore, there are a lot of, I guess, resources and people who can do the work here at a cheaper rate. I think we tap into having a cleaner here because one, it's just more accessible for hire, and two, it's just a really good service and she does such an amazing job cleaning our house. We only do it once a month because it's really meant for like a deep cleanse. I still vacuum and I still kind of like sweep and clean our house in general, so we don't really need one every week. But I have friends who have cleaners come to their house every week, even do their dishes, mop the floors, and just do like a deep cleanse because they don't want to clean themselves. The other thing too about having a cleaner come in once a month is great. She's way more professional than I am, and she can get rid of like the stains and like these weird spots that we have, and she just, you know, makes our whole bathroom and living room just like sparkly clean. For transportation, I would say that I am a very big public transportation user. I generally like taking the bus more than I like taking the MRT. I just like to travel above ground. That's just my general rule and preference because I get to actually see what the city looks like from above. I would say that I generally top up roughly 30 to 40 Singaporean dollars per month. If you take a ride, it's generally like $1 or $1.50 one way. The fare is calculated based on the length of your trip. I also tend to walk more now because Singapore is very flat as opposed to San Francisco, which is really hilly. So it's very convenient. I have a few friends who do live in my neighborhood and I can just easily walk to their house to hang out or grab food with them. Plus, I'm just trying to get roughly like 6,000 to 8,000 steps. So there are times where I will even hop off the bus a little bit earlier and then I make myself walk like 3 or 4 blocks just because I need to get my steps in, not really to save money, but just to get a little bit of more exercise. In San Francisco, each trip was roughly $4 Singaporean dollars, which roughly equates to like 3 US dollars. Yeah, public transportation back in San Francisco is really expensive. I also do take Grab, which is the equivalent of like Uber or Lyft. It's like ride hailing app. If I call a Grab, I think it would generally cost me like 8 to 15 Singaporean dollars. And I would say I probably spend around 50 to 60 Singaporean dollars on Grab, but it really depends. I haven't been taking Grab as much. I have been working from home and I don't like going out on work days unless it's Friday. I often stay in my area or just eat at home. So for food, I will say that I do spend quite more on groceries, probably more than I would like to have, and it's just because one, I do generally eat a lot. Like I go running and I exercise, so I just eat a lot. And two, I've been having a lot of friends' birthday parties or hosting a lot, so I've been seeing my grocery bills kind of increase. So I think generally like for a range, I would spend around 250 to 450 Singaporean dollars per month. I think this is also because I am spending money on like cheese, on wines, on things that I like to eat. Sometimes I am quite indulgent in the type of foods that I like to eat, but I can also eat regular like bread and egg for breakfast. I think just because I was checking really like this month why I was spending so much more money. It was because I actually had 3 birthdays to celebrate with my friends, so I did see my bill go up a little bit, and a lot of it is like buying cakes or buying snacks for them, and honestly I'm okay to spend a little bit more if it's my friend's birthday or for a special event. Plus I'm not traveling. The other thought I had too was honestly if I just quit drinking alcohol like cold turkey, I most likely could be saving a lot more. I've been cutting down on it significantly, but doing happy hours or just drinking with a meal at home has become kind of like this life staple that I have, and it's just really ingrained, I guess, like back at home for like happy hour culture. So something that I'm not gonna get rid of just yet, but I probably, you know, I'm not going out to the bars, I'm not clubbing and doing all these things. So we just buy a nice bottle of wine and we just have it at home. So the food delivery apps here are Deliveroo, Food Panda, and Grab Food. I've actually been doing a really good job not spending money on doing food deliveries because I've been going out and picking it up myself. I'm basically my own delivery person. And I think that has helped a lot too, because every time you get food delivered, it's roughly like $4 or $5 for them to deliver it to your house. For me, I just walk to like the nearest mall and there's a bunch of food options there, so I just go and pick something up. Plus, there are deals if you order in advance, and they give usually like 10-15% off if you just go and get it yourself. In terms of restaurants, I am not dining out because we can't here in Singapore. You can only do takeaway at the moment. Haven't been dining out at all, but if I were to dine out, I think generally it would be like 15 to 30 Singaporean dollars when I'm eating with my friends. And I'm talking more about like Italian foods, Korean foods, or like Japanese foods. And this is kind of just like a once a week type of thing when a group of my friends and I will go out and eat together. Some of my favorite restaurants actually, if you want to check out, is Lino Pizza and Bar. I believe it's in Somerset. It's really good pizza. They have truffle pasta and a really nice burrata pesto cheese pizza. You have to try it. The other one I like too is Raw Kitchen Bar. I love the aesthetic of the bar. There's outside seating. They play really nice music, and it's mostly like seafood Mediterranean, and it's near my neighborhood. It's really hard to find and not a lot of people know about it. So I kind of like that quaint, nice outdoor cafe vibe. In terms of clothes, I don't really spend money on clothes, to be honest. I have brought a lot of my clothes back from San Francisco. As you can see, this jacket is actually given to me by the previous startup I was working at, and I brought it here to Singapore. Honestly, a lot of the stuff I have and use is from tech companies because it's high quality and functional. It's actually from Airbnb Singapore. My brother-in-law used to work there, so I'm quite fond of it and I take it wherever I go. My friend and I went to the Fashion Pulpit, which is a secondhand thrift store, and it's really nice. You actually find some great high-end pieces there. At the Fashion Pulpit, because my housemate is a member here and we're just swapping some clothes. So there is this really cute dress from Zalora, and then there's also this other romper. Both are in really good quality and I'm obsessed. She allowed me to use her points to get the 2 nice pieces that I found. Finding pieces on Carousel is great as well because they are secondhand, and it's interesting, a lot of the pieces are like worn a couple of times or some still have the tag on it, and you're basically buying a piece for 50% off or even more. One dress that I got, it was roughly priced around 90 Singaporean dollars originally on the website, and I actually found it for 25 Singaporean dollars. So I was super excited. It's from Mango. Mango is a Spanish clothing store, so I just love their pieces. Okay, and then lastly, healthcare. I feel like this one, I'm not really the best person to talk about it because I haven't done stuff here or gotten a checkup even. I did go to the dentist once and I paid 50 Singaporean dollars for it, which honestly I think is quite okay. It's something that we most likely would pay the same back in the US as well. In the US, our copay is generally like $30 to $50 depending on like what you're getting checked and how good your insurance is. My insurance here when I went to the dentist was not good, so I had to pay more money. And I also go to the chiropractor, so I paid roughly $1,000 Singaporean dollars for 10 sessions to get my bones realigned and adjusted. And then I also got 5 sessions of like therapy, like laser shock therapy, to help loosen the muscles in my back. So I think it was a pretty good deal because generally it's more expensive. They did have a discount because of the whole COVID situation, and they said that if I signed right there and then, I would get the discount. In terms of like exercise, I generally run around the river near my house. I don't really believe in paying for a very nice expensive gym unless your company is paying for it. I think because I'm very accustomed to working at a tech company and having the benefits which include them paying for my gym. I currently don't have a gym membership. The only thing I have is the Absolute Cycle package. So I bought 10 classes. That was 450 Singaporean dollars, and I still have a lot left. So when things open up again, I'll be cycling again at Absolute. But at the moment, I'm just going to be running around and doing ab exercises at home. So yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty much it. I don't really spend money on other things. I just don't have things that I want to buy. The only thing that I can really think about spending money on would be more books. I definitely want to be reading more, and there's just a lot of great books out there. The only other expense I can see myself accruing later on is probably more equipment for vlogging. I think when I hit maybe 5,000 subscribers, I may consider actually investing money into a nicer camera, perhaps a better mic, but I think my mic does pretty well right now. I'm using a lavalier mic, as you can see, and I'm just using my iPhone and natural lighting from my bedroom window. I think that's the only big expense I can see myself incurring in the next few months. And perhaps when I can actually travel, maybe I can go home to see my parents at the end of this year. So yeah, maybe paying for a plane ticket to visit and then buying some goodies for my family. But that's really all I can think of. To be honest, I am quite simple when it comes to items. I don't really like having too many items just because I feel like I've always been on the go, and it's such a hassle to like get rid of things or distribute them to your friends if they want it. Generally, my rule of thumb is that if I want something, I'll wait for it for like a week or so. I think in terms of like buying items, I'm just like, I don't really like shopping. But I think when it comes to food, I do spend a lot of money on food because I like to eat and be merry and enjoy good conversation and a good meal. So I think it's really all about balance. Again, I just want to reiterate that yes, I am single. I don't have to, take care of kids. I don't even have any pets. Really, I am just someone taking care of herself. And I think I'm lucky in that sense because I don't have that many responsibilities at the moment. So I can really choose to live a certain way. Yeah, I mean, just take it with a grain of salt. I think everyone kind of lives very differently. If you have any questions or if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe or give it a thumbs up. And I'll see you in my next video.